He has a bunch of these like Steve McGee.
Right
And
now,
he's a British guy, and he lives in Salina. And it's actually a 1957 Zindap German frame, and he put a BSA motor on it, and he calls it a Beezerdap.
yeah, I figured
And
it's a little bit like when people put Norton motors, put Triumph motors in Norton frames and things like that. This other lovely Bonnie 750 here, it's only got about 10,000 miles. It was donated rather than sold. A 3T next door to it, or as they call them, the bathtub model, because of the way the finning goes around them. Norton Commandos, 750s, 850s, and then, like we said, because of the isostatic frame in them, people put BSA motors in them, they put Triumph motors in them. Over here they call it the Water Buffalo, the 750 Suzuki. We just call it a GT 750. I think I already mentioned here, XLCH was a fairly popular Harley.
It came out of the National Museum in Anamosa.
Right,
That's
so
one of the bikes we got.
yeah, and of course the Rotary next door to it, the RE5. If you're looking for parts for those, you may find some in New Zealand, but a lot of them were just dumped by Suzuki in Australia because they couldn't sell them. Bike that's close to my heart here is the H2 750 Kawasaki, and assuming because it's in purple it should be a H2C. The H2 came out in blue and white, light blue, dark blue with black stripes, and that looks to be the perfect colour. So assuming the owner's done it in the right colour, it's got the steering damper on it there, which helps suggest it's a H2C. It's a...
We had a collector in here, and he said they've really gone up in value.
Yeah, talking about going up in value. No, that's
He was going
that's
up to Canada to pick one up that he bought, and he said they've really gone up in price.
Yeah. Actually, I got mine in Canada, which I sold new in Australia, traced it to Canada, bought it back. For the simple reason this is a US model, and it was an Australian model, and the fella couldn't sell it. All the collectors didn't want to pay the top money, but
I had H1, which was a 500.
yeah, Mac 3, yeah. Some 900s are bringing anything in Australia up to 70,000 Australian dollars at the moment. There's ones that went through. The Ascot here we know, one at the 500 Honda series. There's 500 singles, there's 500 twins, there's V4 500s, which are not so common, and the Ascot likewise. 305 Scramblers, early Hondas, CB175, we used to see them everywhere. Now we don't see them. Lovely Suzuki 250 next door, Hustler in some countries, very nicely restored. There's 360 Yamaha here. Came out originally in black with a white stripe as and silver. Then it went to silver all over. So there's RT1, RT2, and then we went on to the DT 360 series after that. Allstate's, once again, I think you might correct me, was the Allstate manufacturer, or was it sold catalogue sales?
Yeah, catalogue.
So, yeah.
Montgomery Ward's.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
No, the Allstate was Sears.
Sears, right. Okay,
Yeah.
we got it right second time around there.
Riverside was a Montgomery Ward's.
Yeah, right. Now, this is something that a lot of my listeners haven't seen, a 67 Riverside Wards, and that was, once again, a catalogue bike. And what do we know about the Mojave?
That was a deal today, the 360 there. They sold that out of the catalog too.
And I don't think there would have been many sold either. The 360. I think it's a pretty rare model. So congratulations having those. And then I can see that someone's been a BSA fan. Do we know anything about the three of them here?
Yeah, this guy was in the movie On Any Sunday. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Steve McQueen financed it. He was in it and financed it. It was more like a documentary back in the 70s. And Ken Presgrove was a Kansas boy. He was one of the top riders. He rode for BSA, one of the top riders in the nation. And he was in that movie, and shortly after the movie came out, he was racing on ABC World of Sports in Louisville, Kentucky. And he crashed, and another rider came along and hit him and killed him. He was 24 years old. one of the top 5 riders in the nation, and that's kind of a tribute to him. That was his bike.
A little bit like what happened in MotoGP to Simoncelli.
Yeah.
So, same sort of thing. No one was at fault, really. So that's a great tribute there. The 3 BSAs are in very, very good condition. And it's great to see that people still remember some of the great riders that passed way before their times.
This guy, Daryl Doble, 45, that's his bike. He was a Kansas boy, Hutchinson, Kansas, and he had a career in motorcycles after he got through racing. He was one of the judges and referees, and he won the Daytona 200 in 1964, and there's a letter there from Walter P. Davidson congratulating him on winning that race.
They're just irreplaceable things like that. And the 4 here,
And that guy, that's another one of Steve McGee's bikes that has the Beezer DAP and some other Triumphs up there in front. And he used to race. He raced with Stan the man.
right, so some great bikes here. Once again, remind you at the Kansas Motorcycle Museum. Google it up or add a comment. I'll certainly give you the address to it. Tell us about competition bikes or bikes that you might have donated or bikes you would like to donate to a museum, because rather than have bikes rust away and no use, if they come into something like a museum here, then the wider world gets to see them. You can donate them, you don't have to, or you can loan them. So it's a good thing to do. Also the memorabilia. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and add comments.